An entity is connected if it's added within the context, otherwise it's disconnected. Let's see what we mean by that. First, recall how we normally add an entity to our table. At the moment we've got Joe here, we're going to add, and we've done this before, and finally we call save changes on the new entity, and that should be saved to the database table. So if I run that and then refresh the table, then we should get our new entry. So this is just a straightforward way of adding data, which we have seen before, and what we're doing is adding this new entity in what we call a connected state. Now that stands to reason really, because it's added within the context. Now remember what this context is all about. We need to go and look at the context file just to remind you what that's about. So within our Solution Explorer we can open up our context file, and basically it's used to make a connection, and we're using this particular server, and that provides a connection to the database. We've called our context my context, as you can see. Now that means that within the program, when we make a new context, then we're adding our data within the context, then that's adding it in a connected situation. On the other hand, we can add data outside the context. Now, is that added to the table? Will it be added to the table? Is it possible to add it to the table? No, not easily. This data is in a disconnected state. So if we wanted to add it to our database, to our table, Entity Framework now provides us with this attach method, and then we can do our normal addition of the element, of the entity to the table. And if we were to run that, then it would be added to the table. So that both of the elements, Joe and Rob, have been added, and they are both now in a connected state. The implication of them being tracked is that the context will track them and know whether they've been modified or they're added, and so on. We'll know how to deal with them. So in summary, if we're going to add an entity which is outside the context, then we can use now this attach, which will enable it to be saved in a connected state.